to another Keelhauled podcast. I'm your host, Captain Logan, and we've got a lot of Sea of Thieves news to cover today, so tie yourselves to the mast and hold fast. Ahoy there, pirates. I hope you had yourselves a good week and a good weekend. I know I did. This week, I got a chance to sit down with one of the great community content creators out there making tons of fun for everyone on twitch.tv/Say Hey Rocco. That's right, I have none other than the cat puppet himself joining us tonight as we dive into Sea of Thieves, a little bit of Animal Crossing, and some arena chat. So dig in, sit back, relax, enjoy yourself, avoid coconut fever if you can, and let's get to it on this week's episode of Keelhauled Podcast. How's it going? How's your lockdown?
Whoa, my lockdown. Well, first of all, my mom and dad are spending a lot of time at home, and at first it was pretty cool. And now it's still kind of cool. Cool.
Always around, always
like
watching.
Every time. My mom's like, "Hey, where you go?" If I get up, if I go I change the rooms from where I'm sleeping. My mom's like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "Oh my God, lady, I gotta go. I gotta go." But then she leaves the room. I'm like, "You got snacks? Where you going? What's up?"
How many times have you been able to sneak in? Now, Dad doesn't need to listen to this. Dad, if you're listening,
don't go away, Dad.
This isn't for you, Dad. This is how many secret poops have you left in closets?
7 in the last 4 hours. I think I might be sick. I'm a little worried. Mom said, "Don't eat the spiced pickles." I ate the spiced pickles. I've been having fire poops all day. I don't know. I'm sorry.
So good.
You asked the question, so you got an answer.
No, that's fair. You know what? I can't. You're right. I asked for it, and I got the answer. I am a little concerned.
My honesty is the best and worst quality.
It's 7 is a high. That is a high number.
Is it? Well, in all fair, I can't count. So maybe it's free. I don't know.
That's fair. If it's 3, that's probably. I hope you're hydrating. I hope that you're getting plenty of water.
I got good water. I got good water right here. I sip in. Mom offered me Pedialyte. I said, "No, you save that for when you got too many fun mom drinks. You have that. That's yours."
The fun mom drinks are my favorites. Dad drinks are good too, but I absolutely adore fun mom drinks. But water's good. You know, you're not missing. You're not missing anything with water.
I like my good water. I don't need no spicy grapes. I'm okay.
I appreciate the good names for mom drinks. Those are awesome.
Yeah, they're spicy.
So when mom has her spicy drinks and dad is helping with stream, what do you always go for just water, or you got any? Because I don't know about you, I'm a bit of a chocolate milk fiend. Like I love my chocolate milk, and it's
chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like having chocolate milk, but when it's for during streaming times, I do only streaming times. I do water and juice. I like my juice, and before streams, I do go juice, and that could be hot bean juice or any kind of juice that I just yell go while I'm drinking it. That's go juice. I just say go. It could be a Rebel. It could be just juice. It's fine as long as I yell go.
That's probably a good way to make sure that you know exactly when you're drinking and when you're not drinking. Sometimes I lose that sometimes.
It's kind of tricky to be. It's a lot to take care of and think about.
Everyone says that drinking's so easy and you can get addicted to it. I don't know. Sometimes if you don't have like a good phrase to go with drinking, it doesn't feel as fun. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, you gotta chant it up. You gotta go like oh, and you can't. I don't think you can get addictable to drinking water. If you do, you might be a mermaid, and that just sounds like a bigger issue, honestly.
I kind of think maybe. I don't know. That sounds like it might be fun. I might have to start drinking more water to see if I get addicted to become a mermaid.
Yeah,
just to see what it's like.
Works. 100%. I know.
Yeah.
I went to a doctor's office once.
Oh, was it good or was it scary?
No, they said they wouldn't treat cat puppets. They if anything, they showed more interest in my mom for bringing me. So,
wow.
That's That was a
Wow.
weird time. Weird day at the office.
That's just they didn't even give you like a sticker or like a lollipop or let you play the video game?
No, they're just like,
Ma'am, this is the cat puppet. We don't treat you, ma'am. You okay?
and I was like, I'm doing great. How are you today? And they just wouldn't. They didn't want to do it.
God, that's strange. That's just uncalled for. You know, you would expect professionals in this field to be able to address any issue given the circumstance, and they won't even treat a cat puppet. I'm
Yeah, I thought it was
disappointed.
pretty suspicious. A little suspicious.
Yeah, that's I can't believe that. Sorry. Well, we're getting on. I wanted to bring you on because not only are you probably the best pirate cat puppet I think I've ever seen, but
you stop.
no, trust me. I've seen quite a few cat puppets out there. You're definitely the best pirate. Definitely.
I want names. I'll go
I
fight
mean,
'em.
you know, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus because they're still my friends,
Okay,
and I don't
dig
want
it.
to. Yeah, like, but I mean, you know, out of all the cat puppets that play Sea of Thieves, you're definitely my favorite. But just
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It's not a competition, but also thank you for your
yeah,
loyalty.
yeah.
I will
I'm
remember
not.
that in the Puppet Uprising. In the, what? Hang on. What?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you were saying.
No, we could get back into the puppet uprising.
No,
Don't
it's fine.
are you-
It's cool. Yeah,
don't
no.
don't let your
I'm fine.
father stymie your
cool?
voice. It's not fair to
I'm
you.
cool. I'm cool. It's fine. We're fine.
All
It's
right.
fine. It's
All right.
union. Fine.
Okay. I wanted to bring you on because you've been streaming games for a while, and this is something that you just randomly found one day. Like, did you jump on the keyboard and it just started streaming one day? Like, how did you get into streaming? Because I'm curious about this.
Well, okay, so I always watched streamers. I always really liked watching streamers, especially when Burke Black was able to stream like the beta of like Sea of Thieves and like the alpha and stuff. Like before,
Oh yeah.
because I was in the beta and I did a little bit of the alpha, but when it was like I wanted to watch it before bedtime, I will always watch those streams. I never understood like the social aspect of it. We would just like watch a stream and put it on and go to sleep watching it. Like we never went into chat. We never knew about subscriptions or none of that stuff.
It's a big world.
Yeah, it's so much to learn in Twitch and just all of these social media platforms in general, you know? So, when we came up with the idea to have me stream the Sea of Thieves, yeah, I mean, we were like starting at like ground, like just the base, like square one. You know, we didn't know anything. Dad had built a gaming pooter before, and he was a sound engineer, so he understood like the routing of it all for me. But like when it came to like how to be a streamer, I was like, I didn't even have alerts. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I guess I'll just talk the whole time. It'll be great. And I had like one viewer for weeks and then 5 and 10 for a while. I just kind of sat around like 8 to 10 people. I got to know a lot of them. It was really nice. They still hang out, a lot of them. I really depended on the kindness of those people to help me learn how to be a streamer because I did not know what I was doing at all. All. I didn't even know you're supposed to like look at like when people follow you. I was like, I don't know what that means.
It's funny how great the community can be around streaming and how willing to help or how willing they are to help others when it comes to especially when you're a cat puppet, you got no thumbs, you need help.
Yeah, I'm only little, and like when we were setting up for streaming times, my dad was like, okay, Rocco, if we're putting in this work, you're gonna have to like, start to look at other streamers, see who you kind of want to like try to get to know or who you want to look up to, who's got cool styles. And it's funny because a lot of the streamers that I found, like not immediately, but within a year later, a lot of them ended up being really good friends, which is just so crazy in the Twitch community that like you can see someone and be like, oh my God, I love what that person's doing.
Yeah.
Get involved. And that's where the social media aspect came in. And that's how I kind of learned like be active in the chats and following and hanging out and cheering people on. And then they kind of get to know you. And then suddenly, you know, a few months later, you're at TwitchCon and you're all sitting there at dinner just being like, oh my God, remember when I messaged you being like, I don't know what I'm doing. Please, someone be nice to me. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely had a very similar experience, and thankfully, a lot of the Sea of Thieves community streamers are so much fun. They're so great.
Insanely nice, talented, giving, generous. Everyone's just so, for a game with pirates, we have probably the nicest community out there.
It's true. We will constantly.
The whole game's like kill, rob, sink bolts, and friendship, and lots of hugs.
And it's funny because I don't know anyone who can't at the end of the stream or at the end of the day pass that on to someone else. Like everyone has always been super good about like trying to share the community with each other too. That's a really fun thing.
There's no weird I try not to I don't pay too much attention to like if there's like, Twitch drama, but like sometimes people, I notice people get weird about like sharing communities, and like when you have a game like Sea of Thieves, since we are so tight knit, like it's worth it to be nice to everybody. You don't have to be the nicest pirate. You could be a crazy PvPer, but like being polite in chat and on social media is great because it's such a small community that if you can get a reputation for being a nasty little butt, and but like you could be a nasty little butt in the game and be like, oh, that guy's a criminal. But then when you get to talk to him, you're like, oh my God, you're so nice. That's great. I am so terrified of you in the game. You don't have to be the pirate that you are in the game on the social media aspect of it, unless if you're truly, I don't know, playing a character. I don't know, maybe you're a cat puppet or something. I don't know. That's a whole thing in itself.
There's extremes out there, but we don't have to dive into that.
Of course.
So I do have a couple questions because you've been streaming Sea of Thieves predominantly for most of your streaming experience, and I was right there with you. Like as soon as the game was coming out, like I latched on to Burke Black and Cream and Gassy
how
Mexican.
Could you not?
I love that squad.
Crew. Oh, they're so good. I love them.
I love watching them play, and they were so much fun to see, kind of grinding out all the different things at the beginning of the game and stuff, and watching them kind of move from game to game. And speaking of moving from game to game, I wanted to talk a little bit about this because there's some zeitgeist going on right now. How much fun are you having in Animal Crossing?
Oh my God, Animal Crossing. Do I really get to talk about Animal Crossing right now? Oh my God, okay. I just gotta say these things. I would give all of my mom's credit cards for a Sea of Thieves game that looked like Animal Crossing, where it kind of like you set up your little outpost on your island, and then you went out and you went sailing, and you could like get back into the regular game of Sea of Thieves if you want to like go fight and go do things. But then like when you're done, you come back to your outpost and you lay down, or you dig up treasures and you decorate your house. And I went, I love it. And it's a good game. I like it.
It is such a great game.
I never played it before.
You never played an Animal Crossing?
No, this is my first Animal Crossing. And I was just like, this is Sea of Thieves. It's all cosmetics. I love this game.
Oh man. So you've never had to worry. You don't have this mindset, this lineage of just how cruel and calculating Tom Nook can be. I can't even imagine a world where Tom Nook isn't constantly trying to steal bells.
Yeah, all I know about Tom Nook is he's this guy that gives me loans that I can pay back whenever I feel like it, and he never asks me about them. I never feel pressured. I'm just like, hey, what's up, dude? Everyone's like, ooh, Tom Nook, he's a bad baby. I'm like, is he? I don't know. He been pretty nice to me. I don't know.
Well, that's he's changed his tune a little bit.
I'm fully aware I have a pretty weird outlook on it all. Everyone's like, what?
So I wanted to bring up Animal Crossing because for one, you've been streaming it and it's been great, and I've seen a couple billboards where there's been a couple rumors about you maybe being a smelly baby. I don't know.
Excuse me?
I don't know. Maybe I saw a billboard a while back, and someone had left a note, and I'm I don't want to spread rumors, but I figured this would be a good medium for us to address. Possibly you being a bit of a smelly baby. Now you can totally say this is not factual, but I mean it was written out.
So it was written, and I will say I have come to terms with it. I did have a long communications with the Lulz Nina, aka the face of Sea of Thieves fishing. She very much likes fishing in the game, and she loves it very much. And we love Nina. She sends me many hats. She said she meant to write, Rocco smells good. So, as much as I was going to walk on her pillow for that, when she said I smell good, I said, okay, because I think that's okay. But sometimes I smell a little bit, but with all the I've been taking more baths lately to try and be healthful and not get sick. I hate them, but I know I smell like bath time now. Probably a month ago, I did smell like a sock. I will give her that. I will fully admit my shortcomings. I smelled like a little gym sock. But right now, I smell like Irish Spring. Thank you for asking.
That's great. You know, it's good that you're open to change, because so many people get stuck in their rut and they don't want to self-address. And sometimes it takes friends to kind of bring out some of the flaws that you have. I know all the time that I probably shouldn't be drinking as much chocolate milk as I do. Or
don't let anyone stop you from drinking chocolate milk. Those aren't your friends.
You know what? I know, but they're so nice to me, and they tell me that Crooked Masts is nice, but I swear it's not a good island. It's not a fun island.
Those aren't friends.
I'm gonna have to have some talking. I'm gonna have to have some conversations later, I think.
There's a lot of hard conversations ahead of us.
It's true. And another one, since we're on the topic of you've finding out, well, that you may have been a bit of a smelly baby in the past, but now you're a good smelling baby.
Yeah, the best.
So you're a good smelling baby now, but I'm curious because you've actually had this opportunity, and I haven't had this opportunity yet, but
yes,
you've gotten a chance to smell Joe Neate. So I'm kind of what does Joe Neate smell like?
He's honestly straight up. He just smells like dreams and sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Yeah, sunscreen. Well, I only meet him when he's in California, and he comes all the way from over where they don't got no sunshines. So he's got to wear sunscreen when he comes in, or he'll burst into flames because the California sun ain't gonna get his butt. So it always smells like dreams, which kind of smells like cinnamon and pillows and like nice laundry and nice like that. And then sunscreen.
That sounds nice.
Yes.
That sounds. Is it like a coconut sunscreen?
Yeah, like banana boat.
Banana boat. That's fair. God, that smells. I bet he smells amazing. I would one of these days I'll get a chance to meet him and we'll have this conversation, and then he'll never want to see me again. But I'm okay with that because at least I'll have met him once.
Yeah, you take a deep sniff and then you can keep on, and then you don't even gotta say nothing. Just take that, and then just run.
Let that moment sit there as I continue. Yeah, I'll have to do it at the end of whatever event I'm at that he's at. I'll get everything out off the plate, do everything I need to, and just be like, Joe, I just want to I have one more question. He'll be like, what's that? And I'm like, thank you.
And he'll be like, what? That wasn't a question. There wasn't a question. There was no question. Like, I've asked all I needed. Thank you.
That's all I needed. That's it. That's thank you for this interview.
Like, you still gave me an answer though, Joe. You still gave me an answer.
You didn't have to say anything, Joe. I got all I needed right then. So, but yeah, you've gotten a chance to go out and meet the team. So what was that like when you got to go actually talk with them and hang out?
Honestly, I have to say, I truly, I think the further away I get from those moments with the Rare crew, the more meaningful and the more that I've realized how impactful they've been on me. Because, the first time I got to meet the crew was at TwitchCon 2018, and I wasn't even making content. I was in my hiatus then. I streamed from March till August 2018, and then we had a move. And then the move kind of caused some hiccups. And what I thought was going to be maybe 1 or 2 months away from Twitch turned into 9 months. And I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. It was awful. And I was still going to TwitchCon. I still wanted to meet my friends. I still really wanted to meet Sea of Thieves. And I was waiting in line, and I was so nervous because of what was I going to do? Be like, I'm Rocco, and I make videos. Sometimes I stream on Twitch. Like, that's not even my voice. Like, why would I talk to them like that?
That's true, yeah.
I was waiting in line, and Cameron, it was one of the community managers. He comes up with Steve Dillon, who is also one of the game developers, and they're like, "Excuse me, is that Rocco?" And I was like, "What the heck?" I was like, I'm Rocco. You guys know about Rocco? And they were like, "Yeah, we love Rocco. Oh my god!" And I was like, "Wait, oh my god, I'm sweating. Oh my god." So like, they totally blew me away there. The fact that these guys pay so much attention to their community and their content creators is like. I think I just really started realizing the magnitude of that in the past year. Is that a company like this, making a game like this, being so tapped into their creative, and just not even just the content creators, but all the people who are just playing the game in general. Because I was with my friend Tuck, and he was like one of the first handfuls of pirate legends. He was like, one of those cuckoo bananas that hit it in the first like week or something. And they knew exactly who he was. They were like, "Oh, you're Tuck? Oh, what's up?" Like, they knew exactly who he was. And he's not a streamer. Like, he streams sometimes, but like he's not a... He lives in Australia. What are they working off like one fiber optics line for the whole continent over there? You either got a good internet or you don't. Well, I don't know. I just know it goes under the ocean and it connects into them like one giant plug. I think that's how the internet works. I don't actually know.
I just thought that's crazy because I thought it was just a line of sharks with RF switches on their head.
Oh, you know what?
So that's cool.
I did read in Wired magazine that's how they did do it, and they've upgraded from the sharks. Yes.
It's.
Is it just me,
or does it seem weird that a magazine called Wired talks about wireless stuff all the time? It seems
so
kind of weird. So weird. Why not change your name?
Like, who are they even?
Like, who's Wired anymore? Everything's wireless.
Whoa.
I don't know.
I don't know that neither. That's crazy.
But
yeah,
you're absolutely right. Anytime I've talked to anyone that's gone to events, like Cameron, Steve's there, John's amazing, Joe, Mike, everyone. I've never heard a bad thing about any of the Sea of Thieves employees ever. They've always been awesome.
They are all so amazing. I cannot even remotely. I mean, and that was TwitchCon 2018. I've had a chance to see them again at TwitchCon 2019. I saw them at E3 2019, and at E3, that's when I got to meet, Mike Chapman, and I got to even meet people in like the marketing division, like the people that we don't even think about or like talk to often because we're so focused on the dev aspect. But even the people who are involved in the marketing aspect, even they know all about their content creators. Like, this is such a company that acknowledges. I see so many streamers out there struggle and feel like the game that they love and represent so much doesn't really notice them. And Sea of Thieves and Rare as a whole, like, really go out of their way to include and make sure that every player feels at least recognized or appreciated in some sort. And I think that's crazy to me.
It's amazing to me that in the age of our internet, like social media is what it is. The only thing any of us ever want to do, or when we socialize with people outside, is just that feeling of recognition. Even if people disagree with you, just the feeling of recognition is so important in making sure that a community feels like they have a connection with the studio. Like, how many times I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a chance to see other friends with other content creation talk about things like Nintendo and like a Nintendo Mini will drop, and then people are just like, well, that's what Nintendo does. We don't know because we're just sitting here waiting. No one crazy. Knows.
Yeah, and then we get like weekly. We like know exactly where our devs are all the time, doing everything. We're like, well, it's a Thursday, so we know that Craig Duncan's taking his dogs to get groomed today. Wait, what? I don't know that about him. It's fine.
Yeah, it's why do I know that Joe's been out running in the fields with wild ponies listening to podcasts?
Why are there so many wild ponies where he lives? What's happening? Have you seen those pictures?
I have, yeah. I don't know where they come from
or why they're there. I want to go to Joe's house and ride a pony. my new favorite thing I want to think about all day. I just want to ride and go, wee-ha! And play Red Dead Redemptions with him, but in person.
That would be funny. That would be amazing. I would love to see you and Joe on wild ponies.
I can't tell if he would be very excited to see me riding up to him on a pony while he was on a run, or he would just like be horrified. And I think both would be equally valid and wonderful reactions.
I think, yeah, there would be like, what is that? What is that on the horizon? It's a pony, but what's on the pony? Is that
it looks like a noodle.
Is that Rocco? How
I'm just yelling, yeehaw! He's like, how did you get here? I'm like, yeehaw! Just getting closer and closer.
If you do get a chance to ride in on a pony in the fields of Joe Neate's backyard, and he asks how you got here, there is only one answer you can give, and that is sea turtles, mate. Sea turtles.
Oh, sea turtles. Yeah, those would be the ones to bring us over for sure.
So, but to, we totally skipped ahead of it, but I want to kind of touch base on it because it is kind of a big thing with the community right now. I've seen a lot of friends talk about Sea of Thieves and Animal Crossing. I've been playing Animal Crossing. A lot of people,
I have to come to your island. Whoa.
You do. I have a skeleton with a line leading to treasure on my island. I have a legit X marks the spot on my island. It's a work in progress. But it's one of those things where you brought up a really good point. You brought up a point that was just nailed the nail on the. I don't know how that goes. I don't do sayings, but
I don't know anything about construction. I'm just little. I'm not around near the hammers after what happened last time. So.
We don't have to get into that. If that's
my lawyer says I can't talk about it.
That's fair. That's fair. That's probably smart. That's probably good legal advice is always needed in the world. Yes. So, but everyone's been talking about Animal Crossing. The reason why I've really loved the Sea of Thieves community at least on Twitter and on Twitch is everyone is trying to build Sea of Thieves in Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, of course. How could you not? It's on an island. Like it's too perfect not to. It's too perfect not to. And this is my first Animal Crossing, and I share my Switch with my dad. So I'm living on his island right now. So he gave me. We picked my house. I'm on the water in this cute little beach bungalow, and it's all filled with my toys. I still go sleep in my dad's house because I'm too scared of the dark. But I've turned, I'm going to turn my whole place into like a pirate playhouse. It's going to be amazing.
That's awesome. I don't blame you. I've been trying to do the same thing. I have my wallpaper is like a skull wallpaper, but the flooring is a cabin deck, and it's got it looks great. And then I've got a picture of Mike Chapman and a picture of Joe Neate on the wall.
What? That's amazing.
And you're more than welcome to come over. I just bought a cat tree, and I've already got a litter box. So
good. Okay, good. So there's places for me to be. Okay, good. Yep. Yes, I would very much like to be there.
Yeah, you're all set to go. If you want to come spend the night, we can have a sleepover, and then in the morning we can go catch bugs. Or fish.
I love catching the bugs in that game. That's the other thing. I was digging up bones, getting fish. Mm-hmm. For the love of God, Sea of Thieves, let me catch bugs. I need to catch bugs now. I didn't know I needed it, but I need to catch a bug. And when are we? I know when are we getting banjos? We got the banjo. Let's move on. When we get nets so I can catch bugs. Let's talk about it. I really need it.
I'm all for that. Yeah, it's funny the crossover I've seen with Sea of Thieves being like, let's see, you're on an island, check. You get clothing, check. You deal with animals, check. You can build and dig stuff up, check.
It's all imagination. Yeah, you can fish. You make up your own stories every time. The other day, I flew into my friend's Nina, the one who said that I smelled, but she meant I smelled good. I flew to her island. She made her house look like a Thai food restaurant, so we all went out to lunch, and we all ordered our food, and it was amazing. And today we did brunch. We went to my friend's island, and she built it out to look like Well, she called it Hagar Village, but what it was the Midsummer. So we went and did Midsummer, and we set all our friends on fire. It was great. It was very wholesome.
That's awesome. I've been loving that so much. It's such a good game. I can't recommend people jump into it, especially if you're a fan of Sea of Thieves. It's got all the trappings there.
For real. And the nice thing is, I will say this. I'm not positive they're correlated, and I'm thinking maybe. I don't know if you've jumped back into Sea of Thieves since Aminal Crossing came out, but it seems like everybody's chilling in Aminal Crossing, so that when they jump into Sea of Thieves, it's just spice nonstop. Every time I've gone in, it is PvP. Everybody's on it. Everybody wants to fight. The people that want to work together want to fight together and like join up. Like I was friends with another galleon last night, and we took down these other brigs, and there was like 3 brigs, and it was crazy. And we were at the fort, and it was nuts. And then we finished, and it was great. And we gave them the key. I was like, I gotta go to bed. Like, bye-bye. Have this. But it's so cool. When I've been streaming Sea of Thieves, I feel like all the chill babies are like out chilling, making their dream homes. And then when they take a break, they're like, okay, I'm ready to taste blood again. Let's go.
That's so funny. I've had mixed. I've been.
Oh yeah.
But part of that is I've been playing a lot with with my Discord community, and we've been going out, and I don't know how they're doing it, but they're managing to get a couple ships together, and then they just go, and it's just a big circle around Thieves Haven. They've just been trying to help each other get treasure, get to Pirate Legend and Athena 10. And
see, I love that. I think everybody should be like, especially now, like, a lot of us can't go outside and do things if you're stuck at home. God, just try to grind up those levels. There is nothing better than hitting Athena's 10 and just sitting back and being like, man, what? And it's not because it's endgame. It's just that feeling, that wash of relief of like, I can do anything I want in this game. Yeah. I can go fishing, and if I whatever, like I can, whatever. And it's just so freeing. And that's when like I've really been able to have my most crazy moments in the game, is when I have nothing left to lose. It's amazing. I want everybody to feel that way.
Yeah, when you've got enough gold, and you got enough doubloons, and you've got all the cosmetics you want, and you're done grinding out reputation, that's when you start to play around with just making up your own fun. And that's
totally. And that's what the devs want. Yeah, and that's where the crazy memories are going to lie for everybody. And we all remember the stories of grinding and grinding to Legend and grinding to Athena's 10, or maybe we're still on that grind. And it's just the weight off your shoulders to really just get weird with it after the fact is like, I've seen it happen to every single person that hits Athena's 10. Then they're just kind of like, yeah, let's be weird. I'm like, okay, great, let's go. You're already playing with a cat puppet. Let's go.
And you're talking about like weird stuff, and to speak to that, Rare has recognized you for some of the weird stuff that you've done in game. Maybe not all of it, but one of the things that you did that really drew attention to your streaming stuff was the chicken rave. Yeah,
which was such like a fluke thing. Like, being a streamer, a lot of your job is, your job is playing a video game. But what a lot of people that's like the most core basic, like, oh, you're a streamer, you stream video games. But what you're basically doing is you are live producing, think of like an SNL. You're live producing a show. You have X amount of time, especially for me. I can't really stream longer than, 4 hours, 5 if it's a really crazy night. But, I get so tired. I need so many naps. So I come in basically knowing, okay, I've got 3 hours. I've got 3 hours to put on a show. What's going to happen? How can we do this? And the chicken rave was one of the rare times that things kind of went off base. Because I came in, I was like, tonight I'm hitting Legend. It's happening. We're doing it. We're getting. And I just needed to hit that 50 in Merchant Alliance.
Yeah.
And after I was, grinding and grinding and grinding, I thought I hit it, and I was at my 3.5 hour mark, and I was just losing it, and I wasn't Pirate Legend yet, but everyone was already in the chat. It was like 10 p.m. Because at that time I was starting a lot later, so it was already late at night, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And everyone's like, come on, let's just like grind another like 15, 20 chickens. It's fine. And we were just like, oh, half asleep, being like, oh my God. And my dad's blasting the music, and I'm just kind of like getting loopy. And that's when everyone started stacking the chickens so I could count them, because I was like, we need 15, we need 15. And they start stacking them, and I start counting them, and I start singing. And then next thing I know, everyone's flashing their lanterns, and I'm singing. And I hit legend that night, but like I remember nothing. I remember nothing. I just had fully hit like a wall of just like, if I don't make Pirate Legend, I am burning this place to the ground. And I'm sorry, Mom. Like, we are not. No, it's never going to happen. But, I did make Pirate Legend that night. But it was, oh my God. But that's, when you are hitting your craziest points in this game, I mean, I couldn't believe when I posted that that clip, and I think that's something for every creator to remember, big or small. Embed your clips. If you have a cool thing that's happening, embed that. Upload it, because a lot of people have an issue clicking on a link and then taking them open. Maybe they're on their phone. Maybe they're maybe they're in line at the grocery store. Maybe they're out and about. Yeah. Let them just watch it in there, because I guarantee that's the only reason why it caught the eye of the devs. They see thousands, millions of tweets a day or a week, whatever. They had something autoplay for them that they couldn't turn off, and they were probably like, "Wait, what? What?" And that was that was a turning point for me. And they retweeted it, and I started gaining followers, and as luck would have it, 2 weeks later, my hiatus started for 9 months, and I was like, cool, great. This is the beginning and end of my career. And, but because they had retweeted it, I used that leverage on my on my Twitter stream or Twitter account to keep in touch with the Sea of Thieves community. And it really, really worked out. It was really great.
Yeah. Yeah, and since then they've made a painting in commemoration of your chicken Rave, and it's part of the Sea of Legends stuff out there. So if anyone doesn't actually, I don't know anyone who doesn't know about you, but if they don't, they can go check it out.
Sometimes I still run into people on the sea, and sometimes they're like, "Wait, I know your name," or they, someone I'm sailing with is like, "Hey, go to Chicken Isle, and you'll see this little ding dongs." Chicken Rave painting, which used to be funny because people would be like, yeah, right. But now it's like a part of the game and they have to go see it. It used to just be like, go see that painting over there, and that's my painting. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, you could be like, there's a rock on an island, and that's my mom. You can't just, it's her right there.
I swear.
You're a beautiful lady. That's what it means.
You have to believe me. I'm over there. It's me. I promise. I'm the cat.
It's me. I know. And I never expected that they would, put my name in it, put anything about me in it. So the fact that you walk up to it now and it says my name in the game, that's crazy. That was like an ongoing joke in our family, was like, Rocco's going to stream Sea of Thieves and we're going to get him. They're going to love him. They're going to put him in the game. Ha, 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 ha. And then it happened and we were like, oh my God, can we also, it would be a total joke if we had $40 billion. When's that happening? Can we just, I also want 5 dogs, please.
Right, yeah. You're like, what are these nights? I'm just going to have 3 shrouded ghosts spawn on me all in a row.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
It never happened, right, Joe?
Right, no, that would never in our wildest dreams.
So you're talking about a lot of people going out and fighting each other because of this event, and it's ironic because this week is the week where we should be out killing skeleton ships.
This is true. This is true.
The 1 week where they're telling us to go out and kill stuff, actually the 3 weeks that they're telling us to go out and kill stuff other than each other, is the 1 week where you're running into people constantly trying to kill each other. Yeah. It's almost like they didn't surface this well enough in the game.
No, you gotta always get making friendship and killing, making friendship and killing. I like that they kind of mess with our psychology in that aspect. They'll be like, you guys should go be friends for a minute, but also, here's this really limited edition, certain special piece of treasure that if you turn it in, it's going to give you all this treasure. And that's just going to be floating around here. But first of all, I want you guys to all hold hands. Yep. Okay. All right. bye. And you're like, wait, what? What? I don't know. Am I supposed to fight him or kiss him? Fight him or kiss him? They're like, you'll figure it out. It's fine. It's fine.
It's so true. They're like, just play nice until you don't. And then
you're just like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, just do it until you don't. And you're like,
sure.
What? Like, dude, I remember when the Hungering Deep came out and they were like, okay, guys, you all got to hang out together and you need 5 people to cooperate. And I was like, but my team only has 4. And they're like, we know. Go make friends. I'm like, what? I just spent a month, like, just not doing that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Okay.
But that was the crazy thing. That was the cool thing. They were like, hey, we know you guys have been having a lot of fun murdering each other every 3 hours over a small measly fort. We're putting a giant shark in the
we
game.
were like, could you believe there are villainous skulls on this thing? Like, wow. We are
Did you
rich.
see the spices? Did you get the spices? You brought the sugar.
Oh my God, I remember
Why did you bring the sugar? Go get the spices.
For the first time. The spices are like the teas. You're like, oh my God, there's tea in this game.
Yeah. But then you're sitting there and you're like, guys, you're never going to believe this. I dug up a chest of sorrows. Put this on the boat.
This is amazing. Look how sad it looks. Wow. Why is there water everywhere? Why are we sinking?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? It was really fun to watch a few of like the bigger, like even like the Fortnite streamers do that like few days where they were really trying Sea of Thieves and watching how many of them sink their boats. Like I watched.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Just because they'd be like, it's only one hole in the boat. It's not going to sink. And I'd be like, Ninja, where are you going? And like, fix your boat.
Yeah. He's so busy. He's like, I just put up walls all day. And if people shoot him, they still shoot him. But hey, it's still there. It's still going to protect me.
I was like, you got to fix it. You got to fix it.
That's your boat, boy. Get back on there.
Get on there.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining to watch some of the big FPS shooters get on there and be like, all right, what is this? It's a map. What do we do with it?
Oh, it's a map. Yeah, no, it was so I loved it. But yeah, sorry, tangent. I just got really excited.
So during this week, it's almost half over by now, but basically Rare has been rolling out the anniversary stuff, and last week it was Hungering Deep, which a lot of people had a lot of problems with the I just blanked on the name of it, but the drum cosmetic coming back.
Of course. And I will admit, I used to always say that drum really, I was one of those at first being like, I love this drum because you could only get this drum during this event. But I think a lot of people are forgetting that that was the first time we ever got the speaking horn or the speaking trumpet. We all still have that. Just because these newer players are getting it, I think Rare changing their stance on, at first they were like, absolutely not. No, if you missed a time limited cosmetic, too bad, so sad. You get what you get and you don't get upset. Like the fact that they're even bending a little bit for the new players, I understand the purists. I get it. We, as a day one pirate, I get it. We were all there for it when Sea of Thieves came out and people were like, oh, this isn't even a game that has anything in it. And we were like, okay, no, you don't get it. Like, this game's amazing. We stood by it. We were like the OGs.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that we remember, especially right now, there are so many people trying this game for the first time. And the cool thing about this game is there's, since it is cosmetic based, there's no skill caps. These people can jump in and play the same game as us. If they have access to the drum, even if they don't understand what it means, maybe that's who cares? They're just here and they're getting to learn the lore. There's been a lot of people in this game that didn't even know that Hungering Deep was a thing. And for the first time ever last week, they kind of got to learn a little bit more of it. I've noticed a lot of people tweeting saying like, oh, I looked into it. I looked back. I found things on YouTube. I watched the whole thing from this guy's perspective. Like, it's cool. That's a really cool opportunity. I get it, though. I get the purists. I get us being like, wait, I worked really hard for that. I had to make friends with some random dude named like smell my farts in the sea. You think I wanted to play the drum next to that guy? I didn't want to play the drum next to that guy. Like, oh my God, I hated that. But you still have that story. No one's taking that story from you.
It's true. And especially with that guy like constantly masking his farts with the beat of the drum like
You
that.
have to respect it.
Yeah, that's something that it's OG. You're never gonna find "Smell My Farts on the Seas" beating to the drum every time he has to fart. That's just
Beating to the sound of his own toots. He creates
true.
and transcends a genre at the same time. Who else is doing that in 2020? I beg you to question. Exactly. So yes, of course.
It's true. Maybe I don't know. I can't even think. Lady Gaga, maybe.
Lady Gaga. Exactly.
I could see her doing that on stage, but that's
Yes.
a whole. That's I don't know. It's an unfathomable question to be able to ask just a regular, everyday person. But it's yeah. So I'm with you. I want. My problem is that I've noticed this, and people have pointed it out to me. I'm a community builder. My mindset is like, okay, how can we get more people to play the game, or how can I get more people to have fun? How can I get people to understand with this game? So my mentality is not one of like everything is mine. Everything I have is all I have, and you can't take that away.
My things and my stuff and my things and my stuff and my things. Yes, exactly.
This is my soul. So when they're talking about bringing back like the curse sales, I'm like, oh, cool. They're going to miss out on the figurehead, but they'll have another sale and they'll have a part of that.
Exactly. And that's the thing. They're not giving every cosmetic. To have one of something, that's okay to me. Are they going to have the intense, flashbacks and cold sweats like we did after curse sales, which I'm pretty sure ruined my life? No. And you know what? Good. Because I don't want anyone to feel that pain ever. Ever. I want to protect everyone from that.
Man, the music. God bless Music Me for putting that API out that you could tell like when the battles were going on when you went onto the Sea of Thieves page, because if it wasn't for that add-on, I would have never known like when the freaking battles were going to go. Because if you were towards the end of that battle,
I can't tell time, let alone knowing time zones. I'm like, no, what year? October? I don't know. Where are we? Like, I can't.
Time is a flat circle. I can't understand it.
Exactly. Time is a flat circle, especially right now. There's no such thing. Did you know it's Sunday? I did not.
I did know it was Sunday, but only because this is shower day. So I always keep track of these.
That makes sense. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, Sunday shower day. It's a
Today,
good. It's
yeah. I take the shower. I did Sunday shower day too. Yes.
Yeah, it's good to have. So, but yeah, we like the Curse Sales event is really great. It's going on till April 2nd, so there's a few more days left of it. All you have to do is sink 8 skeleton ships to get the Bone Crusher sales. You're not going to get the tattoo set. You're not going to get the figurehead or the hull, unfortunately. But it's still a really cool. It was the first sale or first set of sales that you could get that were tattered or torn.
And so cool. Cool. Oh.
Yeah.
Like the first time you saw him and you're just like, no way. Yes. Like that was such a moment.
Yeah. You're getting closer and closer to that feeling of like this wretched ship that's been raised from the depths, and you get to sail around in it, and you're like, I took their style and I made it my own. Except not really, because it's exactly their own. But that's okay.
That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. So that's going on, and then of course after the 2nd, they're going to be doing the April 3rd for a week. They'll be doing the Devil's or the Forsaken Shores, which I'm really curious about, because that one was purely about running around and finding out what happened to the Forsaken Alliance crew.
R.I.P.
Yeah. There's a lot of good pirates that died as a part of what Stitcher Jim did to everyone. And
ding dong, Stitcher Jim. I never trusted that, but he's spooky.
You know I think he's getting his comeuppance. I mean, have you played Heart of Fire? Have you done all
Oh my God, I love Heart of Fire. Yes, and you're right. He's getting them comeuppances, but
yeah.
We got a lot to unpack still. A whole lot to unpack. I feel like this game is 2 years old, and I feel like this game just started. I feel like I've watched 2 hours of a movie, and then like
Yeah.
the front opening credits just started rolling, and I'm like, wait, what?
It's funny that you bring that up, because I feel like this is the part in the Star Wars franchise when Luke finds out that Darth Vader, sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen
God,
it.
if you haven't seen, every pop culture reference in the last 25 years, you're about to be so mad.
I'm going to be so sorry if I ruin this for you, and it's not intentional, but boy, are you going to enjoy the ride when you actually get to see it. But when Luke finds out that Darth Vader is his father, that's the point where I'm like, we just saw Stitcher Jim stick his hand into a bunch of fire because someone told him to do it. What other stupid things is he going to do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just beginning.
Oh, it's just beginning. And it's so cool to me that, which you're saying, like these weekly events, I want people who are just discovering this game to get as excited as us about that. Yeah. Even if it means it's being condensed into these quick weekly events. The way I see it is like, if people really want to be learning the lore and getting these, commendations or these special re-release of these cosmetics, they're going to want to do it. And the thing is, there are a lot of new players that genuinely want to learn this stuff. There's a lot of new players that couldn't care less, and that's fine. Maybe they don't care about those things. You don't have to do those weekly events. It's not mandatory. Or sail with someone who did do it, and that's how my mom plays it. She barely has any money. She just hops on our boat and she's like, look at me, I'm a rich lady. I'm like, this is my boat, these are my sails. And she's like, but I'm riding on it, and I'm gonna tell everybody I bought it with my money. I'm like, yeah. And that's why she spends all her time in the brig, honestly. You gotta get out.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I know that a lot of sour grapes or stinky grapes, a lot of that grape juice tends to get stored down below where it's nice and cool. Maybe your mom knows something that maybe we don't know.
Oh my God, she's just partying in the brig. Is that why she misbehaves so much?
Maybe. I'm not for me to judge, and I'm not gonna shame anyone for. I know, but
sneaky.
I've seen it happen a couple times.
In it for the free ride. That's all she wants. She's just like, yeah, go make me some money. I'll watch my stories. Okay, thanks.
I got a couple of friends that I could see that happening with as well. So I think it's but
good. They can all sail with my mom. They can all just throw up everywhere.
they're gonna end up like the kid that I saw like forever ago, where he was out in the middle of the ocean in a galleon alone, just doing circles, and we're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm trying to summon the Kraken." It's like, that's not how you summon the Kraken. I'm summoning the Kraken. Leave me alone. And I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna leave the kid.
Him. Was that me? I don't
know. No. That was. It was a long time ago. Me and a few friends were out sailing, and we were heading past. I want to say it was Sailor's Bounty. We were as close to Sailor's Bounty, and we saw this galleon out in the distance. We're like, all right, we're gonna go sink that galleon. We get out there, and the galleon's just doing circles. And we're like, what the heck is this galleon? Why is it just going in a circle? And we get over there, and this little kid, and he's just like, hi guys. And we're like, hi,
what?
You okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to summon the Kraken. And we're like, you're trying to summon buddy, this isn't how you summon the Kraken. He's like, yes, it is. He's like, oh, okay. Well,
he is the spiciest fourth grader you ever met.
It's true. I was just like, all right, we're gonna leave this little dude to his thing. He's gonna hopefully he's never gonna get that Kraken.
Most fourth graders would be scared of the Kraken, and he was not.
Yeah, one kid on a galleon all alone, and I was like, man, this isn't even the best. Like, he's gonna get wrecked so hard. He's in a galleon alone.
That kid is he's been dead for years.
No one has.
He was on a ghost ship the whole time, and nobody ever heard of him again. No, that kid is. I aspire to have that level of confidence.
Now we just call him
in
the
a galleon
ferryman.
By myself, insisting that I'm going to I'm summoning the Kraken.
Yeah, it's so fun. But you're right. with the weekly events, it's only for a week, and it is definitely a way for new players to get a chance to have a taste, or at least an insight to some of the craziness that we went through when us OG pirates were out there. And who knows, maybe we come across a pirate that doesn't have these sails, and you see him and you go over and they're like, you don't know what you're missing. And then you take them over to an outpost and you're like, here's the rest of it. And they're like, no.
Yeah. And you know that's something that Rare was definitely keeping in mind, because this idea of running a game that's built on cosmetics, they want the stories. They want someone brand new in their sailor's attire running up to you being like, oh my God. And I've had people do that where they come up and they see a certain, a figurehead, or they see your outfit and they're like, oh, where did you get that? And then you get to tell them the story. That's what we're here to do, is make and tell stories. And that's amazing.
It's this is a weird little sidetrack, but I was watching YouTube, and they always have like these huge ads that they plaster all over the place. One of them was for Masterpiece, and they had Neil Gaiman on there, who I don't know if you're familiar with Neil Gaiman, but I love his work. It's so amazing. He's such a good writer, and gosh darn it, if YouTube didn't get me, man, I sat there and I would listen to that man talk to me about building stories. And all I wanted to do was just hop over to the Twitter and be like, let me just knock out 280 characters about why I love Sea of Thieves being a story maker. Because he's like, when you're writing a book, we're storytellers by nature. And I'm like, yes, we are, Neil Gaiman. And Sea of Thieves is what that does for me.
Yeah,
and I was thinking,
it unlocks so much great potential in storytelling. Even the shyest people have these amazing stories that they just want to tell. That's so cool that they can bring that out of us. That's insanity. Mm-hmm. Neil Gaiman should play Sea of Thieves.
He really should.
Neil, if you're out there, no, please.
That's the next goal. We got Freddie Prinze Jr. That's cool. That's awesome. Yes, he's a good dude.
Love him.
Let's get Neil Gaiman.
I'm into
Neil Gaiman on this.
Right.
We're gonna have to start bugging him later now.
Yep, I'm down to start the campaign. Let's do this.
So we've talked about the coming week with Forsaken Shores. I think it's going to be really interesting to see people kind of discover the skeletons, because every island's got skeletons, whether they're in the sand or they're popping out of the sand, or whether like right behind you. Like, there's skeletons everywhere. And to find out a little bit more about the Forsaken Shores skeletons is going to be important, especially right now when you're actually getting a chance to go out with the Heart of Fire, to actually talk to Captain Morrow and learn about her crew, as opposed to just being like, oh, she's just someone on an island that Pendragon talks to about what Stitcher Jim's up to. It's like, no, there's a whole story involved with her, and if you miss that, that's precious. And it's a shame, but there's a way to kind of recapture a bit of that, and that's what I'm enjoying about these weekly events. Even though I don't have to do them, I have no need to do them. But doing them,
we don't have to do them. But it is really cool. I think it's also a cool way to celebrate the second birthday. Like, go back through. It's like looking through a memory book of just like going back through and clicking through and being like, remember when we got this? Remember this adventure? That was cool. That was awesome. And you said, you don't have to know that lore to play the game, but God, it sure is really cool to share it with people. And there are players out there that, we had a friend just join us recently, and he's like, since when are there volcanoes in this game? And we were like, oh my God, you didn't even know. Whoa, let's go do some cargo run real quick. We're gonna blast your pants off. Let's go.
Oh man, yeah, God, it's so much fun, and you're talking about kind of the celebration of what the game has brought to us over the first year and stuff, and as we kind of move into the future, we found out a little bit from the Sea News that came about a week ago now, I think it was, that Arena is changing, and I've talked about Heart of Fire with other folks, and I've talked about the Thieves Haven with Kaida and stuff. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about...
Hang on, I lost you for a second.
Uh-oh. Am I here? Can you find me? Am I back? Did you find me?
Oh, yes, now you're back. Yeah.
Yes!
Okay, all right.
I worry about getting lost.
Take two.
We're starting over from scratch. Hi, Rocco.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome to the podcast. Glad you could be here.
What is a podcast?
I don't even know anymore.
Help. But yeah, you only cut out when we were talking about the arena. You were saying that you talked with Kaida about the Flameheart stuff, but you haven't really talked about arena stuff yet.
Yes. So I wanted to bring this up with you because I know that you're, for one, you're the best cat puppet pirate I've ever met, and for two, you've tried pretty much all aspects of the game, and I wanted to get your thoughts on how do you feel about the arena and the changes coming to it? Maps are gone, the area is smaller, time is shorter. There's a one chest now, and it has a beacon, kind of like the Reaper's chest and the Reaper's bounty.
Right.
There's only one turn-in point, and they're doing an increase in return for when you do actually turn into this chest. So compared to what we're used to with arena, this is a huge change, and they've been asking.
Massive. Yeah. Huge.
I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about this change in particular?
I think, honestly, that this was I really love Arena. I think these changes are necessary. Not just, what's the way that I'm trying to explain this? I think that this change was necessary because as fun as Arena is, there is a few, quote unquote, bad habits that I think some players are getting into. You're seeing a lot of people leave matches early. You're seeing, a lot of people lean on different perspectives on how to play for it. When making the map smaller and getting rid of the shared maps for the treasure chest is really going to increase the ship-to-ship and PvP, and I think it's really going to do away with a lot of people leaning on the aspect of the RNG helping them out. We all know what it's like to load in and, be like, oh, we're the boat that's furthest away from where all the maps are. And maybe you're still going to spawn far away from this one beacon, but I think having one turn-in, one beacon, little treasure chest, I think it's necessary changes because I've been in a position before where I'm like, oh my God, where my boat spawned and where I am, I just got away with digging up 6 chests with nobody coming near me. And I don't think that was ever the intention for Arena. I think Arena was always supposed to be nonstop action, and these updates sounds like they're really pushing us into that.
See, that's why I wanted to bring you on, because that is a viewpoint that I had not considered when I saw this. What
was your initial reaction? I'm curious.
I actually didn't like it. I didn't like the idea that they were removing some of the knowledge that came with playing adventure. So when you take away the maps, you take away a key function that a lot of pirates rely on for certain things. Like I may not be, and this is just hypothetically, but I may not be really good at PvP, but I'm excellent at digging up chests. So I rely on my teammates who are good at PvP to facilitate my ability to do what I'm good at. And with them protecting me, it's a lot easier for me to be able to hunt out, find treasure, dig it up, and hide it somewhere. And what you spoke to was true. The RNG definitely detracts from the design of Arena. But having a beacon on a chest really cuts out the need to understand a map and an island and all its little eccentricities that I know Rare spent so long developing those islands to try and build them a certain way so that you can understand where things can be dug up and where things spawn at, and being able to understand X marks the spots and stuff. It takes away that cartography aspect that I truly appreciate in this game, and relegates it strictly
that's so interesting. I never thought of it that way, but yeah, I get that. And then it just makes it strictly just kind of it's the PvP mode. I mean, it's kind of what we're talking about now. And I mean, I think honestly, I think the beacon chest thing is just kind of an exciting new thing that they were going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually brought back the maps. I don't foresee this being a permanent forever change. I think maybe eventually they will start like I would not be surprised if this was one of many versions that would eventually turn into a multiple choice game mode. You know,
Yeah.
like hey, do you want to play OG? Do you want to play beacon mode? Do you want to play this? It's more like a king of the hill. Like, let's see how many people we can get on the island and stay on the island, and you know, capturing the points and all that. Like, I feel like we're only seeing the start of it. Also, for me personally, I think this very intense, crazy change up of the arena is good because, again, we have so many new players. I think a lot of new players are a little bit nervous to play against some of the more seasoned arena players. And I think in the interest of continuing to grow our community, I would much rather shake it up, start us back at square one. We all learn how to replay together in the next month. And, you know, maybe you'll still not like it. Or maybe you'll be like, man, I really like this. But interesting. I never thought about the map aspect would be, and that's totally a valid like thing that you would want to say is like, I miss being able to dig up my maps. But maybe someone who's really good at first-person shooter games, their friends have been bugging them, being like, come on, please play Sea of Thieves. And they know that this is the only way that they can trick them into joining us. And before they run into me and I make them play restaurant with me in the middle of this ocean, we got to get them in somehow.
That's true. Yeah. It's funny the amount of crossover that I have with people, especially because of just how strong Xbox is when it comes to first-person shooters with Halo, with Gears of War, with just the multi-Destinies, really popular on Xbox. You've got Call of Duty's always, and that is the biggest section of the industry. I would argue that they are constantly having first-person shooters being the main key. So having a game where, yes, it is Sea of Thieves. Yes, you are a pirate, but they do have a mode that is shorter matches, which are more in line with most first-person shooters, and
Totally.
making it so something that is still interesting for that player base. I can totally understand their reasoning for wanting to push towards that, and maybe that is the arena is kind of the gateway drug into getting into adventure mode, where you can do.
Someone might be like,
more.
"Oh, wait, I really do like sailing this boat. Wow, like you could do." Oh, and then maybe they'll be like, "Man, this is a pirate game, and I didn't dig up any treasure. It was just finding this beacon chest the whole time." And it's like, "Oh, well, then just jump into." Come on, jump in. You want to do PvP and dig up chest? Well, come into adventure with us. That's how they're gonna get them. That's how they're gonna get 'em.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. They get you, and then they take it, and then they give it, and then they take it. I don't know what they're giving and taking. I'm just imagining. I don't know.
Passion, just pure passion to and fro. And so with this, I wanted to see, what are your thoughts on having one chest? Because something that I can't say anything about this, but let's say hypothetically, you're playing arena, there's a beacon chest, and you dig up the beacon chest, and you are a god when it comes to Call of Duty, and you can quick snipe anyone from just about anywhere while jumping and reloading and shoving a pineapple in your face, and you can have this skill and you're good with it. How do you prevent having a match where one really good per PvP player team is able to fend off multiple crews on an island and just hang on to a chest until, like, say they turn in one, and then they grab the second one, and all they, at the end of the day, they're hanging onto this one chest and can't prevent any, or can't allow anyone else to get another chest. So it rules out the kind of sway that you get from the traditional arena mode, where if you turn in a bunch of chests or you sink another ship, there was always that play about like, what happens if you get one chest in, or you get enough shots on another ship and you barely crest that first place spot and take that first place win in the last second.
That's true.
How do you prevent that?
That's gonna be crazy, because I wish I had a crystal ball so I could even see like how one of these matches would go out, because that's totally a hypothetical that could happen. However, even the best of the best of the best, everybody's got to mess up sometime. You know what I mean? Like, you got the best of the best of the best, and they're holding them off and they're doing something. Never downplay perseverance versus someone who's getting a little bit too comfortable. Because I feel like the kind of team that you're describing, they might, be feeling like they're like against some little baby pants, and they're like, oh yeah, we're doing great, and that's the moment that they might kind of slip and fall. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to tell though. It's gonna make a lot of people want to step up, and maybe certain people who are not super into the PvP aspect, they might not have been super keen on playing arena anyways. It's hard to tell until we see it in action, and I'm really gonna look forward to trying it out and seeing it, because the situation you're describing, I never really thought of that. I think that any team worth their salt is going to have to find new and interesting ways to communicate and execute plays to combat stuff like that, because you're going to face a crew like that. You're going to face a crew like that in arena. You're going to face a crew like that in adventure mode. And it's gonna, I don't know, but I want to shoutcast a match real soon for it. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was watching you guys shoutcast the Beacon Brawlers, and that was a lot of fun. That was God, I love that event. I love the idea of having that beacon up at the top of Smuggler's Bay or Snuggler's Bay.
Oh yeah, I did the I was doing the Race of Legends, but they got so that beacon at the top, I love seeing everybody race towards lighting it, but I gotta say, seeing them remember to put it out is also my favorite game.
Yeah, I love when they get a little heated in the battle and they're trying to get clear of the other team so they can put their flame up.
And then suddenly they're like, oh God, we gotta let it out. So that's also my favorite game is who's gonna put out the flame. Did we remember? And did Rocco talk over Doug telling the crew to do that?
It's a lot of fun. I love that, and I can't wait to see some of the new stuff that comes with the Race of Legends stuff. They do a great job all the time. And Rocco, we're getting pretty long in the episode. I know we started over. I know it seems like it was just maybe a couple minutes ago.
Here.
We started take 2, but I wanted to bring you on because you're a great personality and I love you to death, and I wanted to see if I could get you to read a First Mate's log that came in not too long ago. It was last week, and it was I checked my email and I saw it, and I was like, everything's already done for this episode. And I was hoping that I could have you read the First Mate's log that came in from Bad Trevor Black. Would you be willing to do this
Absolutely.
for me?
Absolutely. Awesome. I just happen to have a copy right here. So I will.
That's amazingly surprising. Who knew?
Now, I'm not very good at doing impressions of Bad Trevor Black, so I'm going to read it like me. Is that okay?
That's totally fine. That's exactly what I was hoping for. And I think Bad Trevor Black would be honored to have you.
Okay, I hope so. Maybe he's going to be like, oh, man. Okay, we'll see. All right. Okay, here we go. First Mate's log. Ahoy, Captain! This be another tale of Bad Trevor Black and the crusty crew. A heart of fire. It was a beautiful sunny day at Sanctuary Outpost. A few clouds in the sky and a slight breeze occupied what would be a normal day. I was in the tavern listening to a captivating story from a fellow buccaneer about how Stitcher Jim betrayed us all and is working to bring back Captain Flameheart. Enraged with disgust, I slammed my tankard on the table and stormed out. I knew Stitcher Jim personally and have bought him many things from him. I trusted him. I could not believe he would do this. I will find him and stop him from doing this madness myself. For I, Bad Trevor Black, the greatest kraken hunter in the seas, will surely be able to find a small, scrawny man. I got aboard my infamous kraken-themed sloop, dropped sails, and headed towards the Devil's Roar. As I roared past Lonely Isle and Lone Cove, I realized that I was low on fruit and wood planks. I would not make it to the Devil's Roar on the limited supplies that I currently had. I checked the map for the nearest outpost, and Daggertooth it be. A quick stop to stock up, and then off to find the filthy sea dog who betrayed us. When Daggertooth in sight, I raised the sails, but noticed that another ship was already there. I pulled out my spyglass and took a look. Concern turned into optimism as this ship was no foe. It be the Krusty Krab, one of the most famous galleons on the seas. Its captain, Short Jim Silver, be the most well-known merchants and surely knows how and where to find Stitcher Jim. I met Short Jim Silver at Ancient Spire's outpost, the same day I became pirate legend and joined his crew to find the shores of gold. I needed his help, and I hoped he was sober enough to say yes. Huzzah! He was only a little drunk and remembered me well. I asked him to join me to find the traitor, and he agreed, as long as there was rum. We stacked the rum bottles from senior trader Mandy in the captain's quarters and filled the fruit and wood plank barrels. We dropped sails and headed for the Devil's Roar. As we sailed southeast through the wilds, we heard gunfire. Boom! Boom! We quickly looked around to see where the danger came from. Jim Silver spotted a sea battle between a sloop and a skeleton galley right in front of us. Knowing that we had limited cannonballs, we needed to stay away. I spotted Skullkeep Fort to the right of the fight and started getting ideas. Jim, take the wheel. I'm going to cause a distraction. As we grazed by one of the watchtowers, trying to stay out of sight of the battle, I jumped off to the island while Jim Silver sailed towards the Devil's Roar. I climbed up the tower and took a look to see what was happening. The sloop and the skeleton galley were heading towards my sloop. If I could sink one of them, it would give us enough time to make an escape. I picked up some fire and blunderbombs, climbed into the cannon, and fired. Splash! I landed in the middle of the ocean and in the middle of the fight. Which one should I take out first? The skeleton sloop turned towards me. Huzzah! I was close enough to get the ladder, but I could not miss. Deep breath, I snagged the ladder and climbed up the dark, ghostly galleon. I got on board, threw a few blunderbombs, and was able to blow the skeletons away for the moment while I thought of a plan. I noticed the sloop was in distance, so I climbed into the cannon and fired myself in its direction. I crashed onto the deck of the sloop unharmed, got up, and looked around. For the moment, I was alone. I took out the firebombs and lit the deck and mast on fire. Crack! The sound of sniper fire buzzed in my ear. I turned around, and a pirate was reloading his weapon. I threw a blunderbomb at him, connected, and watched him fall off the ship and into the abyss and was eaten by sharks. Boom! 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 The sloop was getting hit by cannonballs from the galley. I went below to see the damage, and to my pleasure, the ship was filling up with water quickly. I took some supplies, jumped off the sinking ship, found my mermaid, and headed back towards my ship to meet Short Jim Silver. When I got back to the ship, we were just arriving at Morrow's Peak Outpost. Jim Silver mentioned that the rumor is that Stitcher Jim is in the tavern. Sails raised, heart full, mind focused as I leaped off the ship and onto the pier. We raced to the tavern, opened the door, and to our dismay, Stitcher Jim was not there. Looking for Stitcher Jim, the tavern keep shouted. Aye, we responded. Use this journal, and it will lead you to him. The Kraken Hunter, pirate legend, Bad Trevor Black. The end! That was a good story!
That was really good. You did that so much better than I could have possibly. I could not expect any other cat puppet in the world to do as well as you did. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Get out of my butt. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh man.
That was a good story.
That was a really good story. Really well written as well too. And it's just one of the many that I love getting in from the community. They always send me stories, and I absolutely
They're
love
honestly the best. I just can't believe how what we were just talking about. Anybody can be a storyteller in this game, and that's why I love this game.
It's so good. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. It's so awesome. But Rocco, I don't know about you, but I'm out of bean juice, and I'm thinking if you're cool with it, I want to make sure you're good with it. I think we could kind of wrap things up. What do you say?
I think that sounds pretty good. I think we got some good stuff. We had some good laughs. You're a very good host.
True.
I mean, I'm not
Oh, well,
surprised.
thank you.
I already knew that. But this is, I really had a nice time here. And I'm not just saying that because you paid me. No, I'm just.
That's good. That's good. I know that I slipped a lot of catnip under the table for this, and I want to make sure that you're still happy, even if this is a hashtag ad. Because
Yes.
I want to make sure that everyone feels welcome, even if I have to pay out the
I'm
butt
just
for it.
joking. Everybody who's listening better know I don't charge for interviews. I'm just making a joke. I'm only little. I don't even got pockets for that money.
That's okay. If it's laying on your bed, that's what I hear is the cool thing to do with all your money anyway. It's either stuff it in the bed or put it on the bed and roll in it. I don't know.
I like all those
money.
options.
Right?
Okay.
That's what I say.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go do that. Hey, Mom, can I have some money? Yeah, I'm gonna get some money from her.
Get some money. Yeah. I mean, we're all stuck inside because of coconut fever anyway. We might as well be rolling around in the money to begin with. So
I'm like very into this idea.
Yeah. Well, Rocco, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you and your family are staying safe. Stay away from coconut fever. Don't
Yes,
eat
you
any,
too.
Yes, yeah. Don't eat any weird coconuts. If someone looks strange or they're acting weird on the seas, just stay away from them. Maybe give them some distance, some pirate distance.
Yeah, pirate distancing.
Yeah. And
Hold up both my hands and say, no, stay right there.
I see what you're doing. I see you. You got the weird look in your eye. It's coconut fever. I know it.
I respect it, but I fear it. Yes, of course.
They'll be fine. They'll be good. They won't have to worry about anything. They just have to pirate distance for a while.
Exactly.
So Rocco, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If people want to get a hold of you, where can people watch your stream? Where can people contact you?
So if people want to follow me on Twitter, I'm there all the time. Say hey Rocco. Say like the word say, S-A-Y, hey, H-E-Y, Rocco, R-O-C-C-O. And that's my Twitter. And on Twitch, that's where I stream. I'm also Say Hey Rocco, twitch.tv, Say Hey Rocco. So you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Twitch. We can talk anywhere you like. I'm always around, and I love meeting new friends.
Talking is the best, and new friends are even better.
Yeah.
And with that, Pirates, I think that's going to do it for this episode. As always, I'm going to close out the episode in a second here, so I'm going to take a quick break to say goodbye to Rocco, and I will see you in a second. All right, Pirates, that's it for this episode of Keelhauled Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you really had a good time with the conversation that I had with Say Hey Rocco. It's always a pleasure to get to reach out to different community members. I do have more community members in store that are coming, so keep an eye out for them. I may still do the 1 or 2 single episodes solo again, just kind of make sure that I can kind of say stuff that I think I want to make sure I get you guys news that is poignant instead of getting sidetracked like I tend to do when I'm having a good time and chatting with others. Not to say that I don't like that, but it's definitely I want to make sure that I hit certain things at certain times to make sure that you guys have good solid news when it does come out. But as you guys know, Rare has cut back on kind of the announcements, so because of that I wanted to put some stuff out there for everyone to be able to enjoy. Some community members talking about why they love the game, what brought them to the game, what brought them to making themselves community content creators. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, anything like that, feel free to shoot me an email. You can always send it just like Trevor Black did, captlogun@gmail.com. You can always reach me on the Keelhauled Discord. The links are in the show notes, as well as reaching me on Twitter at capt_logun. And Pirates, with that, thank you, I love you, and I look forward to sailing with you on the Sea of Thieves.